by Pfizer.
In this video, you're going to see the future.
U.S. Treasury is higher.
Breaking news. We've got a livestock there.
Hello, you Awakening Wonders. Thank you for joining us today, live for Stay Free with Russell Brand. Thank you for trusting us to interpret the news for you. And it's a glorious day with so many extraordinary stories. It's difficult to interpret what runes may move beneath the surface to create such apparent peculiarity. We got Mark Carney, the new globalist Canadian leader, visiting Trump. We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering the story that Elon Musk says Mars must be colonized and the Earth is finished. Let me know what you think about that if you're watching us on X right now. Wherever you are watching our show today, ultimately we want you to join us on Rumble Premium so you can participate with us in the reordering of our show. You know, we're going to reboot everything as Rumble creates its new lineup. You know, there's me, there's Crowder, there's Tim Paul. Thanks Timcast for the raid. Thanks Mug Club for the raid. Remember, if you get Rumble Premium, you get access to additional content from all of us, Glenn Greenwald as well. So you can get proper news that's not pre-chewed, and where it has been interpreted, the biases are clear. For example, I wear this full-length leopard skin toweling dressing gown, just so you know. Well, we'll take this guy's words with just a pinch of salt. Just a pinch of salt. And did you know that actually you're meant to drink a pinch of salt every day? I mean, when is the supplementation going to end? Methylene blue, creatine, a pinch of salt, lemon juice. What are we supposed to do, Lord? How are we supposed to cover this? Trump is defunding the legacy media. The UK child abuse scandal keeps going on, and like its roots are getting exposed now and how it's connected to the Labour Party. Get this, Germany seems to be going fascist in order to prevent fascism. We're covering that story as well. We've got some Zuckerberg encouraging us all to have AI friends. I mean, oh, God bless him. He's a sweet man in many respects, isn't he, dear Mark Zuckerberg? The CIA in China. There's so much to cover. We can't muck about this. Get into it. Firstly, the Alcatraz memes have begun. No one has ever escaped Alcatraz, Mr. Trump, and nobody ever will. Welcome to Megatraz. This is just but one of them. Here is Trump himself talking about Alcatraz. Do you think that, as many people do, that Trump is a kind of ringmaster figure, a kind of mercurial manipulator of global realities? Going to space is fake, the Earth is flat, and you can't survive. It's a pure vacuum. just to let you know that I'm serious about free speech. House of Treeds in the Rumble chat. Get over to the Rumble chat. It is amazing. It's amazing to think you can participate in it. Like, if you think X is crazy, try the Rumble chat. This is my man, House of Trades. Going to space is fake, the Earth is flat, and you can't survive. It's a pure vacuum. Oh, come on, mate. I don't think so. No to methylene blue, says Ben cancelled. Okay, fair enough. Listen, get in there and join us in the comments. It's to show we're live. We'll take the show any direction you want. In fact, tell me which of these stories you're interested in. UK child sex abuse. Legacy news, that's sort of like a story about how Trump is defunding and essentially deracinating, is that a word? Desiccating, sucking the moisture out of US media. And, oh my God, Hillary might run again as president. Can you believe that? And just as I said that, I saw this, Vix Nix in the Rumble chat saying pizza dance. What is the connection between Hillary Clinton and pizza? Here's Trump now saying that opening Alcatraz is going to be great for America. Check it.
How did you decide to reopen Alcatraz? Can you walk us through that decision?
Did I say what?
To reopen Alcatraz, how will you use it? How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I guess I was supposed to be a movie maker. We started with the movie making and we'll end. I mean, it represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country needs law and order. Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing and Alcatraz, the movies. But it's right now a museum, believe it or not. A lot of people go there. It housed the most violent criminals in the world.
When he says movie maker, what he should say, forgive me, Mr. President, what he should say is myth maker, because Alcatraz plays a part in American mythology. Think about something like Greek mythology, where it talks about the Minotaur being in the labyrinth. Like, that there are emblems and motifs in American cultural life, in all cultural life. You can't have a culture without motifs and emblems that represent something. What Trump's saying is he's reopening Alcatraz because it represents law, order, and government power. So his detractors will understandably say that that's a sort of an indication of a sort of fascistic and centralizing type of power, in the same way that people were concerned about him posting that image of the Pope. Now, my particular position as a lover of our Lord and Savior Christ Jesus is that he's mucking around, he's playing, he's taking the piss, he's fooling around. But when it comes to the reopening of Alcatraz, it's interesting that Trump recognizes that a president is a storyteller as well as a legislator. Let me know what you think about that in the comments and chat.
In the world, and nobody ever escaped. One person almost got there, but they, as you know the story, they found his clothing rather badly ripped up, and it was a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz, and just
a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz. It's like redoing The Rock.
Just represented something strong having to do with law and order. We need law and order in this country. And so we're going to look at it. Some of the people up here are going to be working very hard on that. And we had a little conversation. I think it's going to be very interesting. We'll see if we can bring it back in large form, add a lot. But I think it represents something. Right now it's a big hulk that's sitting there rusting and rotting. You look at it, it's sort of, you saw that picture that was put out. It's sort of amazing. But it sort of represents something that's both horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable, weak. It's got a lot of qualities that are interesting, and I think they make a point. Okay, are you?
I don't think I've ever heard a president talk before explicitly in mythic terms, telling you that they're doing something because it represents something. Have you? Let me know in the comments and chat if you can remember Joe Biden saying we're doing this because it's a symbol. He's dealing really in emblems and in symbols and signifiers. We're going to conduct a military parade, posting himself sort of an AI image of him as Pope. It's very interesting. Now, who could be going to Alcatraz? Who is the number one lock-up target if Alcatraz is reopened? Who will be the bird woman of Alcatraz? Will it be Nancy Pelosi? She's got a kind of an ornithological quality, isn't she? Sort of like a beaky individual, pecking away at Paul Pelosi's portfolio. Invest in Facebook, Paul. Don't invest in Meta this week. Invest in Apple, Paul. Paul, there's a burglar at the door. Do you know this guy? Why are you wearing lipstick, Paul? Or will Hillary Clinton keep out of the radius, otherwise you might unalive yourself senseless? Let's have a look at it. Apparently, Hillary Clinton is coming back. Hillary Clinton could be running for president, says a senior advisor who knows about these things. Meanwhile, Tulsi Gabbard, one of the people in the administration whom I much admire, has spoken to Megyn Kelly about removing Hillary Clinton's security clearance. Check it.
I saw recently President Trump withdrew Hillary Clinton's security clearance, which you had to do.
Yes.
I mean, that must have been a little fun. Right? Oh, just a little fun.
I smiled.
Of course you did. You're only human.
Yeah, I am.
So yeah, that's over for her.
We're going to be here for a while, about an hour on Rumble and Rumble Premium. If you don't have Rumble Premium yet, get Rumble Premium now. It's an ad-free experience. You get additional content from all of us. If you're watching this on X or on YouTube. YouTube, as you know, I mean, I watch stuff on YouTube sometimes from time to time. I'm not proud of it. But ultimately, it's a digital citadel of corruption and control. In a minute, we're going to be talking about Germany, who are simply unable to operate as a democracy. The AfD, which is a nationalist anti-war party that has near 50% of the vote in Germany, is simply unable to govern because the globalists and maybe even the EU will do anything in their power to prevent it. We'll be talking about that later, as well as Elon Musk's attempts to colonize Mars, or not attempts, in plan to colonize Mars. Excuse me, the return of Hillary. I shouldn't be drinking gaseous drinks, should I? Not on air. It's not the right thing to do. We're going to get into all of that stuff. But first, let's have a look at Trump responding to, are you going to call it a blowback, pushback, backlash against the Pope meme?
Catholics were not so happy about the image of you looking like the Pope.
Oh, I see. You mean they can't take a joke? You don't mean the Catholics. You mean the fake news media. Not the Catholics loved it. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from. Maybe it was AI.
Yeah, maybe it's AI, because otherwise it means you must have at some point posed for a picture dressed as the Pope. Let me know in the comments and chat if you're a Catholic and you're offended by that. And let me know, if you're not a Catholic, why you would be offended by that. We live in this time of utility, don't we? People are offended when they want to. People believe something because they want to. People legitimize their condemnation in whatever way they can. It's not like the culture's been particularly respectful of Christianity and religion in general up till now. We live in a very secular, hedonistic, paganistic culture. You can't suddenly pretend to be reverential towards the Pope because it's convenient.
It was AI, but I know nothing about it. I just saw it last evening. Actually, my wife thought it was cute. She said, "Isn't that nice?"
My question about
Actually, I would not be able to be married, though.
He's thinking about it. No, popes, they go. You can't be married if you're pope.
Though, that would be a lot. I'd have to the best of my knowledge, popes aren't big on getting married, are they? Not that we know of. No. I think it's the fake news media that they're fakers.
My question, though, sir, was about the fact that it was put out on the White House account. Even though it was AI generated, it was a joke, it was a meme. Does it at all diminish the substance of the official White House account to have it go out on that particular channel?
Give me a break. It was just somebody did it in fun. It's fine.
That's what we need. They created this world. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's amazing because now they don't only want to respect the office of the Pope, they want to respect the official White House Twitter account. Oh no, you've offended the Pope and the official White House Twitter account. All of these means and channels of communication can only be sacred if God is real. And does the legacy media act like God is real when they're kowtowing and bowing down to Big Pharma when they're advocating for phony wars? Guess what, conspiracy theorists? Guess what's happening now? Gain-of-function research is banned. Wow. Do you remember when we were talking about gain-of-function research? Well, let me put it into my idiomatic vernacular understanding of it. Creating viruses that are dangerous in order to then create vaccines to respond to those viruses. That milieu of research is being foreclosed and shut down because, maybe those viruses could escape from labs like definitely happened in 2018-19 around Wuhan. That's been banned in the United States of America. Let me know if you consider that to be good news in the comments and the chat. And don't you see that meddling in the dominion of the holy and of creation will likely lead to disasters? And if you have respect and love and reverence for God, don't worry about a meme of Donald Trump dressing up as the Pope or the misuse of the official White House account, but hold Big Pharma to account for their actions and activities during the pandemic and all those in media that lied to us. It's safe. If you don't take it, you're killing your grandma. Where's the apology? Where's the mea culpa? Where's the acknowledgement? I don't want Mark Zuckerberg telling me I can have AI mates. I want him explaining to me why Facebook scrubbed their sites of people complaining, lamenting, inquiring about the potential dangers and reality of vaccine injury. Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about that. Can you see the globalists scurrying? Can you see the legacy media now attempting to retain some legitimacy when all legitimacy is lost? Here's Jen Psaki, who, by the way, I gotta say, I like in some way. I don't know what it is. It might be a superficial thing. Let me check that. Yeah, it is. Jen Psaki saying that she didn't notice Joe Biden's mental decline until the presidential debates. Now, do you remember, of course you do, because you operate in these kind of media spaces, that one thing was clear and certain. In fact, two things were. One, Joe Biden was in cognitive decline. Two, Hunter Biden is using his dad's name to make a few quid. Both of those things were covered up by the legacy media who want your reverence and respect and fealty now. It's time to strike them from the record. It's time to annihilate them and shut them down. Man, wouldn't you like to see some Nuremberg trials for them that lied during the pandemic period?
I never saw that person, not a single time, and I was in the Oval Office every day, that was on that debate stage. I'm not a doctor. Aging happens quite quickly.
Yeah, but not that quickly. It doesn't happen on the journey from a dressing room to a stage. Okay, guys, I'm going to go and debate. I'll see you in a matter of seconds. Let's debate for the future of America. That's not how quickly it happens. It doesn't happen at that speed, does it? Wherever you're watching us, YouTube, X, get over on. It's going to be a long one today. We've got so much to talk about. We're talking about Germany making a peculiar return to fascism in order to prevent fascism. We're talking about the UK child sex abuse scandal, because I see a lot of people are talking about that in the Rumble chat. All of my friends in locals, what do you guys want to see us talk about? My beloveds, my sweet ones, my pretty child, you freaks, you dinglings, you mental defectives, you let me know what you want to see us chat about. We'll chat about that, because we're here to serve you in truth and in faith. So much to talk about. Click the link. Sorry about those little guys. Sorry about the old body tots, Satan's raspberries. Let's get them under wraps right away now. Hillary Clinton's coming back. Is it too late? Is it too late for Hillary? We're going to be talking about the gain of function ban, vaccine placebo tests, so much to discuss. Got to get through all of it. Guess who's in your country?
Canadian Prime Minister tomorrow.
Sorry about that. Mark Carney, Canadian PM. He's in your country.
Canadian Prime Minister tomorrow.
I don't know. He's coming to see me. I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal. Everybody does. They all want to make a deal because we have something that they all want.
Yep, there you go. He's on his way, baby. He's on his way. Let me know in the comments and chat what you think that's all about. Okay, let's get into our first story today. UK child sex abuse. It seems there's something peculiar is going on in the United Kingdom. The country of the Beatles, of Shakespeare, of Queen Elizabeth II. One of the great nations of this earth. In the same way that your country was formed around migrants, we were formed around Saxon tribes and Viking invasions. We rose up and ruled the waves. Windrush, a glorious moment in our history where former colonised nations came to the UK to serve our great institutions, the National Health Service. Britain was once the envy of the world, and Lord alone knows you can't raise a flag without breaking a few skulls. Where is Britain now? Its great institutions, its police forces, its law enforcement, its judiciary. Is Britain on the rise, or is Britain in decline? Wherever you're watching this, click the link, get over to Rumble. Let's have a look at these apparently dog whistle remarks about grooming gangs. Labour Minister urged the quit over dog whistle remarks. What can that be? I mean, what are these grooming gangs that are using dog whistles and dog whistle remarks? What is dog whistle politics? Let's work this out. Here's Labour Minister Lucy Powell talking about the subject of gang rape. Tell me what you think these dog whistles are. Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
I only saw the documentary on Channel 4 about rape gangs.
We want to blow that little trumpet now, do we? Yeah. Okay.
There was a real issue.
Let's get that dog whistle out, shall we?
Okay, Lucy. Yeah. The councils. There were so many people who were so afraid for good. Can I just finish the point, just for 1 minute?
Finish that point, Tim, and then I'll bring in Helen.
Look, there were so many people in local government, in the authorities, who, for good reasons, were worried about upsetting community tensions, that those girls went undefended. Now, there were good reasons for it, but no one has still been brought to justice for that. So you tell me, Lucy, that this isn't a culture in local government. It's just not true.
Dear. Helen Morgan?
I think it's a total failure to...
What's going on? Is it dog? I suppose what she's implying is that it's racist to care about child sex grooming gangs in the UK. What do you think about that? Is it racist? Do you think the British government, judiciary and police force are handling this rape gang scandal correctly and appropriately? Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about Tommy Robinson being jailed for contempt of court for talking publicly about these matters. Is Tommy Robinson a villain or a hero? Let me know what you guys think in the comments and chat. The Labour government has secretly cancelled the national compensation scheme for the victims of child abuse. That doesn't seem like the kind of country that we want to live in. Here are this is a bit of further information about the government rowing back on this potential scheme. In a minute, we'll be talking about Germany. money and their relapse into fascism in order to stop the rise of a democratically elected right-wing party. Very peculiar. For now, though, let's continue to consider what's happening in the UK around child grooming and child abuse.
The government is changing the law for sexual abuse victims trying to sue for damages. Previously, people had to make a claim before they were 21. With that time limit removed, it could open the gates for victims making claims. But campaigners worry that when it comes to historical abuse, institutions will still argue that it's impossible to have a fair trial and will fight to have the case thrown out of court. The president of the Association of Child Abuse Lawyers says this is one of the reasons why a national compensation scheme is needed.
I feel let down that a Conservative government would bring in a redress scheme for the victims of child abuse, and a Labour government have dismissed it. Whilst I welcome the change in the law to abolish limitation, there are many other ways in which a child abuse victim can lose in the civil courts, whereas with the redress scheme, be quicker, much more straightforward, and much more likely to give justice to the victims.
The independent inquiry into child sexual abuse gave 20 recommendations, including a redress scheme. Scotland and Northern Ireland have both opened up compensation schemes for people who were abused as children, paying hundreds of millions of pounds to victims. In 2023, the Conservative Home Secretary committed to one for England and Wales, but now it's quietly been ruled out. The latest Home Office report on tackling child sexual abuse says the government is not currently taking forward any further steps on the inquiry's proposal for a separate national financial redress scheme for all victims and survivors of child sexual abuse. We recognise that in the current fiscal environment, this recommendation is very difficult to take forward. For adults who
So it's essentially saying they can't afford to do it, or they can't afford to have an inquiry into rape gangs. Is that what they're saying? For fiscal reasons, that means related to finances and money. If you are a UK taxpayer, whether you're paying taxes by the back door, like the ongoing attempts to get you to fund the BBC, state-funded news media that it seems hates you, wants you dumb, vaccinated, sick, eating bad food, unwell, delirious and distracted from all that is important. Do you think in the UK that you would rather have, for example, which has been VE Day, victory in Europe, in the United Kingdom, and of course across Europe. How do you feel that veterans are being revered? How do you think that the military is being supported? Let me know in the comments and chat. How do you feel if you work in the agricultural industry in the UK? Do you feel supported? And do you feel that the victims of child abuse should have recourse for compensation, particularly if it's taking place at an institutional level? What's going on with these grooming gangs, and why exactly is Tommy Robinson in jail? Let me know in the comments and chat. Of course, I know that literally the reason is contempt of court for talking about sub judice issues in the public domain, something that I'm of course aware of because I myself am currently charged with 25-year-old and 21-year-old matters relating to sexual offences. It's an extraordinary time for me, but I welcome the opportunity to go to court. I welcome the opportunity to ensure that I want everyone that I've ever known to feel that their encounters with me were beneficial and enlightening and beautiful. I know when I was out there living like a denizen of the realm of Hollywood and entertainment, I was selfish and lost, but I also know that I'm innocent of all them charges. If there's enough money to inquire into these matters when it comes to me, why is there not enough money to inquire into all of these child abuse cases and these rape gang cases? And why is there not enough money, excuse that pun, available to compensate the victims of it? Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about that.
For adults who experience childhood abuse, compensation is more than just financial.
The money is about justice and about all the other people who have had to suffer this. It takes something out of you. And you're not the same person. You can't be.
The government says they are delivering recommendations from the independent inquiry, but with no compensation scheme, victims could still lose out.
Europe is in crisis. That much is plain. Whether it's our great nation of the United Kingdom, where I was from, where I have grown, not where I reside right now, of course, for plain and obvious reasons, it seems like there's a radical requirement for a change of direction when it comes to politics. Nigel Farage is making an impact with the Reform Party, and maybe significant political figures from the left and right might yet come together to confront what looks like a lost, centralised, bureaucratic pseudo-democracy that's much more interested in the service of globalism, funding unwinnable wars, turning Britain into a tyranny, ignoring the plight of Britain's young women and abused children in order to achieve what? Exactly. Let me know what you think should take place in the UK, and let me know exactly what you think about what's happening in Germany right now, where the rise of a nationalist party that is anti-war and pro-Germany is being shut down by peculiar globalist alliances. And the EU say that if Germany votes the wrong way, they will step in. That's an actual quote from Ursula von der Leyen, who had peculiar correspondence with CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, throughout the pandemic period. The reason we talk about the pandemic period is it was revelatory. It woke a lot of people up. It showed a lot of us the truth, not only in the UK, but across the world. And in a minute, we're going to be talking about the shutting down of gain of function. We're going to be talking about Tulsi Gabbard's acknowledgement that there were biolabs in the Ukraine. Yet another conspiracy theory that's turned into conspiracy fact. We're going to be talking about Germany after this important message. Stay with us. 1775, what's it coming round the corner? Will it be a revolution, or will it be reverse in time, like little Benjamin Button himself did? Benjamin Button kept going backwards till he was little more than a sperm. Some say he did that on little more than rejuvenate by 1775. Look at that gold seal. The world is run by lunatics, sickos, mad people. Klaus Schwab, you've seen him, the new squinty-eyed one they've got. That fellow over in Canada, Mark Carnival. What a strange fella. Supply chains, strangled crops, burned by climate chaos are sending coffee prices through the roof. Soon you won't be able to afford coffee, and we need you to be able to afford coffee. Said fire cutty. Blokes with clipboards who've never farmed a day in their life. Brazil's frost one year, a drought the next. Shipping bottlenecks, which is what I call my anus.
You can smell it.
Inflation, and someone at the World Bank whispering, "Let's just make it all worse." The result? Your morning cup of coffee now costs as much as a small island in Fiji that you could live in with yourself and your concubines if you were so inclined. But not 1775, you beautiful people. This coffee is very, very reasonably priced. Look at it. It will fly to you in a matter of moments if you're only willing to part with a couple of dollary dues. They've just launched the 1775 starter kit. It's like an act of civil disobedience that happens to come in a box. It's like walking down the high street with no trousers or pants on and socks and sandals, your genitals possibly in a state of arousal or possibly flaccid. That's up to you. That's the freedom 1775 will grant to you. This isn't a corporate caramel swirl, an oat milk masquerading as jar of sludge. No, this is 3 bags full of real coffee and more. A dark roast so bold it could body slam Klaus Schwab through a Davos buffet table. A medium roast, smooth and strong. Stronger than George Clooney when he's blacked up on the bonnet to play Reagan. And their mushroom blend, legal mushrooms like lion's mane, cordyceps and turkey tail. What won't make you hallucinate but will make you question your landlord, the Federal Reserve, and maybe even your own downstairs businessman that you call privates.
Johnson. Yes, sir.
You also get a milk frother that works better than most members of Congress. A black tumbler branded so boldly it gets you side-eyed by baristas and banned from brunch in San Francisco. And a gold spoon clip, a touch of elegance, reminding you that rebellion can be refined. It's $170 worth of rebellion for just $99. Now, initially, there's just 1,000 of these boxes. I've got this one. I'm keeping that for old Russ and my family. There's 999 boxes and a bitch ain't one. Get yourself one of these. Use the code BRAND. Go to 1775coffee.com, use the code BRAND, and join the caffeinated resistance. It's this caffeine that keeps me free and flowing, baby, out of both ends. Nurse, get a flannel.
Which flannel have you jazzed on?
That's great stuff, man. That is how you sell coffee. Now, listen, if you're watching us on YouTube, click the link in the description and stay with us as we'll be talking about, we're leaving YouTube now. We'll be talking about gain of function research. We're going to be talking about Germany becoming fascist to prevent another Hitler. Remember, if you want to get yourself a coffee, get 1775 coffee. And if you haven't got Rumble Premium yet, get Rumble Premium now, baby. Okay, let's get into this story about Germany. You lot in the chat, creativism, Polish dog, Casino Free, Phenomenon, DJ 2020, Colorado Watch, Killer, Gorilla. I want you guys to tell me what stories you want next. I'm going to start off talking about Germany and the manipulations of the EU. Then we're going to go on a crazy journey together. Click the link. Get over to Rumble. Get on Rumble Premium. If you're watching this on X, we'll be there for a little longer. It's going to be a good one today. I can feel it. Please don't. Can I hold Gunny? Oh, yes, Thomas Beard. You've got to love Peep Show. That's pretty good stuff. Let's get into it.